seat at the table. What is important at the seat at the table that you have access to power, access to information, but access to the very privileged understanding that we deserve everything that this country has to offer. Today, I am so excited that we have the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, a true veteran, but she is a mover and shaker prior to now. We want you to meet our phenomenal Secretary Fudge. How are you? We are very proud to have you.
Thank you. I am wonderful. I'm just so happy to be with you. And just to be able to say to folks, it's a new day. It is a new day at HUD, and I'm happy about it.
Well, you say that, but we are in a moment, and I definitely didn't clear this question by your people, but it's one of love. So it's no angst. It is. We are in the moment of sisters with superpowers. Clearly, you've been part of that. You're a building block way before that. So anybody who doesn't know, be sure to Google so that you can understand she just didn't walk into this. This is a role that you clearly prepared for. But if you were giving a speech to all the young sisters, and obviously that includes brothers because we're a community,
Sure.
if you were giving that speech with all of them to understand that they too have a sister and brother superpower inside of them, what would your speech be at a HBCU college, which we know, or any other college, for these young people to know and have a vision to walk in your footsteps and beyond our footsteps?
The first thing I would tell them is to be prepared. Opportunities come. You have to be ready for them when they do. Otherwise, they will pass you by. So if I'm speaking at a HBCU, I'm saying to them, be prepared. Know where you want to go. And when you figure that out, you grab a hold of somebody who's been there. My pastor used to tell us all the time, if you want a car, you don't fool around with people who are walking. You associate with people who are driving. So you have to make sure that you are with the people that are doing things. So often in our lives, we associate with people who really aren't going anywhere. I love them. But if people who are going nowhere will take you right with them. So you have to be careful of the company you keep. And I say that to people, whether they be at HBCUs or whether they be my friends today. Find somebody, a network that can help you move forward.
I love that. This pushes right in the question of it is so important that we understand your vision as HUD Secretary and how we as a community can join your vision. Can you share just some highlights of your vision that you have?
I absolutely would be happy to. One of the things about being in this place at this time with a president and vice president who understand not just equality, but equity, and have said to us, look at everything you do through that lens. So what we know is that Black home ownership compared to white home ownership is the same as it was in 1968. What we know is that people of color, because we have not really been able to be in that home ownership group of people, we have not built the kind of generational wealth we should build, and we have no real stability. So my vision is three things. One, of course, we're coming out of COVID. I want to make sure that people stay in their apartments and stay in their homes. So we have rental assistance that we are making sure that everyone that is delinquent has access to. We are making every kind of a modification and or a reduction in rent or interest rates for people who are behind on their mortgages to make sure they stay in their homes. So that's number one. Number two is to make sure that we get homeless people off the streets, people who are homeless or at risk of homelessness. On any night in America, 580,000 people sleep on our streets. And it's a tragedy that we live in the greatest nation in the world and people are sleeping on the streets. And thirdly, and just as importantly, is to be sure that we make it easier for Black people and brown people and poor people to own a home, to live the American dream. Does that take change in the way we look at credit? Yes. Does it change the way we look at student loans? Yes. Does it change how we assist first-time home buyers with down payment assistance? Yes. We're going to do all of those things to give everybody a shot at the American dream.
I love that. And this is definitely a question that all of your young upstart entrepreneurs want to know. And so I'm going to do it with an ask. We probably would ask that we learn how to be developers so that we could see community development and home improvement as a
Sure.
part of that. When you have decided, because you had to give up something to get something, what was your vision just as in leadership on how we should approach and what lens should we see home ownership, community development, and being developers in America? What lens should we apply?
First, we have to have access. For so long, we have used the same kind of people to do the same kind of work. And that's why I said it's a new day. I'm going to commit to you that there are going to be more people who look like us that are involved in the procurement process, more people who look like us who are doing the weatherization of homes, more people who look like us that are building homes. The resources are there. It's just always been access. And so now we have the ability to give that kind of access to people. And I'm committed to doing it. One of the first things I said is, how many minority contracts do we have in HUD? And what do they do?
I love it. Access is so key to success when you think about Black mayors that have made success. Obviously, we're in Atlanta, so we look forward to you doing a whole lot more with Atlanta and its housing authority. But the other thing is, and I want to make sure that we know how we are proud of this moment. You're a sister with natural hair. The Crowns Act is getting ready to happen right now. And we are just in light. But what's it like as you have seen Black women now wear their natural crowns and be in positions of power and represent how future generations can be proud of their crowns?
It's reaffirming. It is reaffirming who we always have been. But for so long, if you wore your hair like mine, people looked at you strange when you got to certain levels of your career. But it is empowering for me to see other women who look like me with hair like mine to be in the boardrooms and to be the chairs of organizations and committees. It's so hard to even describe, but it is, like I said, it's just so hard. I feel so good. I just feel uplifted and I feel recognized because for so long we weren't recognized for who we were. We had to be a certain type of person to sit in a boardroom, a certain type of person to be the mayor of a city. But to see us now and people recognize and accept who we are is something that's just undescribable.
Super. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time. Black media is important, and we appreciate having access to you in all that you do. We're here with you and for you, and whatever we can do to share your vision and your agenda, you just let us know. I'm Munson Steve. We've got more to see at the table. We are very pleased and honored to have Secretary of HUD, our Secretary Fudge, a sister with superpower, a sister with love and compassion for our community. Thank you so much for all that you do, and we are here for you.
Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate you very, very much.
Lastly, you do not have to be in the streets, but you do have to be in the struggle, everybody. I'm Munson Steve for A Seat at the Table.